Hi guys. Whew. It's hot here in the UK. We're not used to it. We don't have swimming pools and beaches here where I live. Um, but I'm on here today because I'm very, very concerned about what's going on at the moment on Twitter and on social media about pedophilia. Um, and I'm here to call out these comedians because I want them to know what it makes me feel. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor of childhood abuse, and I'm here to tell you that what you're doing is offensive and stops us from sleeping at night, triggers me back to feeling the feelings I had when it happened. And I want Sarahksilverman, please, to get back to me. I put this on Twitter, I'm putting it out now on YouTube. I want you to tell me, why would you put out a tweet that you put out where you said, if a child initiates it, is it molestation? Now, how could you do that? How can a child initiate sex? This doesn't make any sense unless that child has been groomed or brainwashed. I was 10 years old when I was molested, a tiny little girl with a massive big dentist, okay? And that dentist lay on top of me and did things to me, and I could not do anything about it. I was in total shock. And you, Sarah, and comedians you have to uphold the fact that you have to respect the public. You're going out there and you're putting stuff out and you're making fun and you're doing jokes, if that's what you're doing, that are offending people like me, survivors. Now, if you did that in order to show us how awful paedophilia is and to make fun of the paedophile, a bit like Mel Brooks, who went out there to do, Springtime for Hitler, and I'm a Jew, and it doesn't offend me because he's laughing at Hitler and making fun of him. But you are degrading the children, the innocent ones, like me. You are degrading us, not the perpetrators, not those that are going out to hurt children. And you have no right to do that. No right to do that. And okay, I looked at what you put out there and you got 1,000 likes. But do you know what? There are no dislikes on Twitter. Because if there were dislikes out on Twitter, you would have got 1 million. Because most people in this world have morals and want to protect children and not hurt them, Sarah. Now, from me to you, from a woman to another woman, I don't know what you went through in your childhood. Maybe you were abused, and maybe that's why you feel it's okay to go out and make these jokes. But I need you to explain to me why you put that out on Twitter. I need you to explain to me how you could have put that out on Twitter. Why? Why would you want me to lose sleep? Why would you want innocent people to be triggered back to their childhood abuse? What have I ever done to you? You are so lucky, Sarah. You're an entertainer. And as all of these comedians, you're entertainers. You're doing what you love. You're doing what you love. You go out there and you get paid to stand there and crack jokes and make people sometimes laugh. I don't know. But this is not a laughing matter. And you have no right to do this. No right at all. But I'm not fighting with you, Sarah. I'm telling you from my heart that you offended and hurt another human being. Now, if you've got a heart, then you'll understand and you'll apologize. Regardless, you'll apologize to survivors. You'll apologize to all those children whose lives were completely screwed up because of these awful people that took away our right to grow up with a natural sexual ability to understand and to develop sexually. They took that away from us. They took it away from me. They took it away from millions and millions of people. Now, I recovered from a serious mental illness because I thought it was my fault that I was abused as a tiny child. I lay there in total shock, not knowing what was going on with me. And I recovered when I realized that it was nothing to do with me. My parents were stupid. That, well, they were innocent. They sent me to the dentist. I was surrounded by syringes and needles, and I didn't know what to do. I was absolutely terrified. And when I realized that it wasn't my fault, that I was a child, all of my mental illness went away and I recovered. But even someone like me that has recovered from something like this was pushed back by seeing your comment on Twitter. You need to think about this. You know, maybe you've got BPD. I have it. You know, most people are walking around with personality disorders, but I think you might have it because you do not just say what comes into your mind, Sarah. It's like boom, 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 boom. You need some control. It's not funny. It's not funny. And as I say, I'm not fighting with anybody, but all I know is that I sat and thought about this and what am I going to say? But, you know, I still live in a free world, thank God, where I can actually go on here on YouTube on a live stream and say, I'm sorry, but I'm not, this is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. There are people out there that are trying to save lives of children at the moment that are being murdered and abused. You know, loads and loads of children. Do you have a heart, Sarah? Because if you have a heart, then you'll understand where I'm coming from. Now, if you put it out there to offend people like me, then I want you to stop and I want an apology. I want an apology from you to say you're sorry for what you did. And I did put this on Twitter. I'm just asking you to apologize that you won't do it again. But if you are going to carry on doing it, I'm going to get you blocked on Twitter. I'm going to ask, because I have a right, I'm going to ask to get you blocked on Twitter for insulting and upsetting another human being and millions of people like me that are doing everything we can to get through every single day without being reminded about what happened to us as children and how hurt we are, how hurt we were. So if you have a heart, Sarah, somewhere in there, I don't know, maybe you do. I'm asking you, why did you put that out there? Why did you feel the need to twist the knife? You twisted a knife in me and in millions and millions of people that are survivors. Why would you do that, Sarah? All my work is to go out and tell people that we're shocked. You're not mentally ill, you're shocked. You're shocked because most of us have been abused sexually or whatever. Most of us have been abused as children. All my work is to try and help people to come through, to have a better life. You are so lucky, Sarah. You've got a fantastic career. You earn great money. You're out there living your dream. Most of us can't do that. I don't get to perform anywhere because I'm not able to do that. Even though I am a performer, I haven't been able to reach what you've reached. You're so lucky. Why would you go out there and hurt people with the gifts that you've been given? If you've been given gifts to make people laugh, well, make them laugh. But don't offend innocent people while you do it. That's all I'm saying. Stop offending people like me. Stop offending the people that I am trying to help with my campaigning, with my theatre company, to show them mental illness comes from sexual abuse and rejection and pain and loneliness. Be an outstanding person, Sarah, and apologize. Apologize. That's all I'm asking. Either apologize or explain to me why you put it out there. I really, as I said, you know, I'm looking at the way the world is going at the moment, and, you know, pedophilia is a terrible thing. It destroys lives. And, you know, if people are out there saying that they want it legalized or whatever, I feel like I'm living in hell. It destroyed my life. It destroyed millions of people's lives. To a certain extent, it destroyed mine until I realized it wasn't my fault. I didn't know that my mental illness had been created because of the fact that I believed it was. Because children take on everything. Children take on everything. They feel guilty for everything. and so did I. But my story is coming out next year in a book called Simply Amazing. And in there, you can hear what happened to me. And I had this massive, massive awakening where I realized that childhood abuse is not the child's fault. No child is to blame. None. If these children, that you somehow think that a child can initiate sexual molestation, it's because they're brainwashed and they're groomed, and maybe they think that if they go to a director or someone and say, you know, have your way with me, I'll get a job and I'll continuously work a business. That's because someone brainwashed them. And you're asking this question, why would you do that and put people like me back to where we saw, to weigh up what I'm going to say to you? I talked to some people, I prayed about it, I took space, and I didn't let my, you know, that side of me that wanted to scream and shout at you and tell you, you know, where to go. I thought, I'll think about this. I'll think about it. I'll take a breather, and then I'll go out and I'll say what I need to say on social media, and ask you. I am asking you personally to apologize, Sarah, because if you don't, then I'm going to the media and I'm going to try and get you sacked, the same way as they just sacked James Gunn and other people that think it's funny to abuse children and to degrade survivors of sexual abuse. Because every single day we do whatever we can, people like me, to not have to be reminded about what happened to us as children. I don't want to see this on social media anymore. I want our world back to common decency, to people treating each other with respect. And so there you go. I'm putting this out there, and I'm not well known, so I don't know how many people will watch it. I don't know what's going to come from it. But as I said, I put your name out there, Sarah, and I'm asking you to tell me why you did it. And if you've got a heart somewhere in there, if you didn't do it because you want to hurt people like me, then please tell me that. I need to know. Because I've never done anything to hurt you. Never. And you're a lucky person that you get to live your dream. But as I said to you, we're entertainers. I'm an entertainer. And I make fun. I have to use humor when I do my song about borderline personality disorder. But people sing with me what the symptoms are. I do not degrade anyone. This is different. Children are innocent. What you need to degrade is the perpetrators, the bullies, the awful people that groom children, that mind control children, that take away their right to have a good childhood. I had a terrible childhood because of all of this. I lost my sister's love because of all of this. She turned against me and my family because she was groomed. So there you go. From the heart. I'm putting this out there, and you know, I'm doing this to get fame or fortune. I have absolutely no interest in becoming a celebrity, believe me. No, thank you. But what I do want is I want common decency back and respect. And I want you to account for what you did. It's called karma. You can't keep doing things like that and getting away with it. And I'm asking you and the rest of the comedians out there that think it's okay to say what they're saying, no. No. You can run down the bullies and those that are creating the crimes, but leave the innocent alone. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Let us get on with our lives. I'm one of the lucky ones. I sing in residential homes. I make old people happy by singing to them. I sometimes can put on shows if I'm lucky. I recovered 100% from BPD. in the therapeutic community. But it was that was holding me back, was the guilt I didn't know I had inside. But there are millions of people out there that would have been affected by what you put on Twitter and what these other comedians are putting out on Twitter saying, I'm a paedophile and I'm proud of it. No. Pedophiles need to be castrated. That's what they need, to be castrated. Take away all their sexual feelings completely. Because they can't, because it's like a rabid dog. What do you do with a rabid dog? You get rid of it. You know, so, and if they've killed a child, well, they need to be lynched, dead. They kill a child. But, you know, if they've abused a child, they need to be castrated first. That's the first thing. You need to take away their right to have sex altogether. But as I say, that's not why I came on here. I came on here to explain to you because they made a mess of my childhood. That person that abused me made a mess of my childhood. And my pussycat just came in, my little cat. PC, come here, PC. Right, let me get him. He's so innocent. Whoops! He doesn't want to, he's run away. Animals are innocent. You know, cats. He made a mess of my childhood. And it took me a long time to realize that my whole life was going downhill because of what had happened to me, because I numbed it, blocked it out, never got dealt with, and I didn't realize I was carrying it in my heart and feeling very guilty about it. But once it was released, I got total inner peace. And it's 7 years on now, and now I'm starting to see these tweets, and you know, I'm not mentally ill, but I didn't sleep last night. I cried a lot for me and the other victims. Maybe this is going to affect you, Sarah, if you've got a heart. Because you made me cry all night and other people. Is that what you want to do? Is that what your job is, to upset and make people unhappy? Or is it your job to entertain and, you know, make people laugh? Think about it. From one woman to another, and I think you're probably Jewish with a name like Silverman, as I am. From one Jewish woman to another, and an entertainer like me. Did you want me to cry all night because of that comment? Sorry. I was sitting there thinking, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with these awful things that are going on Twitter around paedophilia, pushing my buttons, triggering me again. Triggering me into depression and discomfort and sadness that my whole childhood was destroyed to a certain extent. And no one protected me because my parents were at work and I couldn't tell them. You're too shocked and you don't know what to say to your mum and dad because you don't understand. You're so naive. And then you develop an eating disorder and you know, you can't make friends. It just affects your whole life. And I feel like shit on and off today because of what you put out on Twitter. Is that what you want? Do you want to hurt people? I don't understand it. You're obviously, people who are happy do not hurt other people. So you couldn't be happy, Sarah, and I feel sorry for you then. Because you need to make yourself happy, because if you're, you know, but I think you've got BPD. I think you've got mental illness, and I think you need help. I think it's like Tourette's, you know, you say whatever comes into your mind. And so, but as I said, you've got a job to uphold. You're an entertainer. And so you need to respect the general public. You need to respect us and not abuse us and not say bad things about the victims of abuse. You need to say things more about the perpetrators. But, you know, as I say, I don't know. I don't know what the world is coming to, that I should even have to watch this stuff on these comments on Twitter, and you know, I don't understand it. I don't understand how people can think that you can even think that this is a normal good or a good thing. Pedophilia is a terrible thing. As I say, I'm a survivor, and it destroyed me. It destroyed my childhood. Don't you dare tell me that I had a choice in the matter, because I didn't, and neither do other children. And it needs to end. The jokes need to end. The propaganda needs to end. Everything needs to end, and I want my world back. But I'm not fighting or shouting or screaming. I'm just appealing to you to tell me why you did it. So, why you did it. So I look forward to hearing from you, Sarah. And I hope that the comments will be nice. I hope the comments will be supportive. But you know, as I say, there's a lot of good people in the world that know what I'm talking about. And thanks to my recovery, I was able to understand a lot of the implications of sexual abuse and how it was buried inside me, and I was numb, and I was sick and diagnosed with a serious mental illness because of it. And I'm not mentally ill, because if I was mentally ill now, I'd be shouting my head off at you, and I'd be swearing, and I would be cursing and all sorts of stuff. I'm not doing that, am I? I'm just asking, why? Why? So that's it. I don't really know what else to say. I'm hoping that you will apologize, and so I won't have to go further with this. I'm hoping that the people will stop doing what they're doing. I'm hoping that not too many people got affected by your comments. I'm hoping that not too many mentally ill people tried to kill themselves, as Samaritans were inundated last night. I'm just putting the facts out there, and you need to know, Sarah. And anybody else who thinks that paedophilia is funny or acceptable. It's not. Children are innocent. They shouldn't have any knowledge of sex whatsoever. Not until they're adults and they're old enough to understand what it means. And if you can't get that, then you're from another planet. You're from another planet. And as I say, talk to anyone who's been abused, and they'll, if they still, you know, anyone like me, if they still have memories or if they've worked on it, they'll explain to you how it affects our lives. And as I said, from one human being to another, did you want to offend me? Did you want to hurt me that badly? Did you want to hurt us badly? Sexual abuse survivors? Did you want to hurt us? Because if you did, then you need to not work anymore. Because, you know, that's not what it's about. So there you go. I don't, as I say, I'm an innocent person, and I'm trying my best here to understand. So I'm going to go now. And if anybody wants to put comments underneath, as I say, please be kind. Please understand I'm coming from the heart. I'm not fighting. I'm trying to understand, and I'm trying to solve this without getting banned from Twitter or getting banned from YouTube, because I'm not offending anyone. I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm trying to find the middle bit, you know? When I was in the therapeutic community, we sit down, we look for the middle bit. So instead of being all complacent about it and not doing anything, I can't do that, because it would just torture me if I didn't say something in some way. You know, I have a right to say what I feel. Or if it was the other way around and I went crazy and shouted and screamed. But I'm looking for the middle bit, like in Buddhism, the middle bit. And so this is the middle bit. This is the middle bit. So it's unacceptable to put out tweets that offend children. It's unacceptable to put out tweets about pedophilia. and stuff like that, to try and make people laugh. It's unacceptable, and I want it end. I want it to end. And as I say, I've put it out here to Sarahksilverman, and I want to know. I want to know what she's going to say, if she's going to get back to me. So take care, everyone. And please, as I say, if you want to put comments, put them underneath. And please, please understand that I'm a human being with feelings, and so please don't offend me. And if you know, and if you felt like I did because of if you feel like I do because of these awful comments and tweets on Twitter, and you know, then please, please, my heart goes out to you. I love you. You did nothing wrong, none of you. You know, children, as I say, if they, what she said about them initiating it, God, children are brainwashed and groomed by awful people. That's the only way that could happen. So I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope that, I don't know, I'm just putting it out there, and I hope that the light shines on these people that are doing it, and they realize that they're doing something wrong and hurting people. And if they have got a heart, they'll stop. So take care. I'm going now.